Hey there, and welcome. If you've got a colonoscopy on your calendar, you probably know that the prep work you do at home is a really big deal. In this guide, we're going to walk through every single step together so you can feel totally confident and ready to go.
So, the appointment's booked, but how are you feeling about the prep? You know, it can seem a little intimidating, and that's exactly why we made this explainer. We're going to break it all down and tackle the most common questions to make this whole process as straightforward as possible for you.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about why this prep is so incredibly important. Then we'll cover what to do the day before and the morning of your exam. After that, we dive into a step-by-step for drinking the prep solution, and we'll wrap up with some really crucial warnings.
All right, let's kick things off with part 1. Before we get into the how-tos, it's so important to understand why you're doing all this in the first place. This is really the foundation of the whole thing.
When you boil it all down, bowel prep is about one simple goal: getting your colon completely clean. That's it. You're basically creating a perfectly clean canvas so your doctor can get the best possible view during the procedure.
And look, if that canvas isn't perfectly clean, it can cause some real problems. As you can see, any leftover residue can actually hide what the doctor needs to find. And that could mean the exam takes longer, the diagnosis isn't accurate, or, and nobody wants this, you might have to do the whole prep and procedure all over again. So, getting it right the first time is just absolutely crucial for your health.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're moving on to your 24-hour countdown, what you need to do on the day right before your colonoscopy.
So here's your game plan for the day before. For breakfast, you're going to want to stick to really simple stuff, like rice porridge or some plain bread. Now, for lunch and dinner, this is key. You eat only the special exam meal your clinic gave you. Make sure all your food is done by 9 p.m. Then, sometime between 9 and 10, you'll take that first laxative.
Let's make this super simple. Here's your yes list and your no list. The yes list is pretty short: rice porridge, bread, that special meal, and clear liquids like water and tea. The no list is anything with a lot of fiber, so you got to steer clear of vegetables, mushrooms, meat, and fish for the day. And hey, remember, you can and should drink water and tea all day long.
Okay, you made it through the day before. Now, let's talk about the morning of your exam. You are on the home stretch now.
The biggest rule for this morning is simple: no food. 0. You have to keep fasting. But, and this is really important, you should definitely keep drinking clear liquids. Staying hydrated with water and tea is a very good thing.
Then comes the main event. Sometime between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning, right there at home, you're going to start drinking the bowel cleansing solution.
Okay, this is probably the part you've been thinking about the most. But don't worry. We are going to break down exactly how to drink the cleansing solution, which is often called SULPREP, so you know just what to expect.
First things first, let's get your station set up. You'll want your 2 bottles of SULPREP, 2 whole liters of water or tea, a clock or a watch so you can keep track of time, and just a little sheet of paper to jot down the times you start each cycle. Trust me, being organized is going to make this so much easier.
All right, here's the cycle. It's really simple once you get the hang of it. Step 1. Drink 1 cup of the SULPREP solution. Take your time, at least 5 minutes. Step 2. Follow that up with 2 cups of water or tea. And step 3, just write down the time you started. You're just going to repeat that 4-step cycle until that first bottle is empty.
So, how long is this going to take? Well, you should plan on it taking about an hour and a half to get through that first bottle of solution and all the water that goes with it. Okay, let's talk about the #1 question people have at this stage. You finished the first bottle, you've done the work, but things, well, they aren't clear yet. First off, don't worry, this is super common, and there's a clear plan for exactly this situation.
So if things aren't clear after that first bottle, you just move on to the second one. You'll follow the exact same cycle as before. Just keep repeating that process: 1 cup of prep, 2 cups of water, until your stool is transparent. As soon as it's clear, you can stop drinking the SULPREP. But listen up, because this is super important. You still have to drink the final 2 cups of water or tea that go along with that last dose of prep. Don't skip that last bit of water.
All right, let's move on to our final and most important section. This is all about your safety, and these are the key things you really need to keep an eye out for.
Okay, this is probably the most important instruction in this entire guide. If at any point you start to feel genuinely unwell, I want you to stop drinking the solution right away and call your clinic. Your safety is always #1.
So, when should you pick up the phone? Here's a quick checklist. Call them if you feel unwell, if you finish the solution and nothing is happening, or if your stool still isn't clearing up. And honestly, if you have any other concerns at all, just call. They'd rather hear from you.
All right, just a couple of final reminders before we wrap this up. Go ahead and take your usual medications, except for any blood thinners or diabetes medicine. You should have already talked to your doctor about those. If you're getting sedation, you need to have a ride home. No driving, biking, or anything like that. And finally, keep sipping on water or tea right up until it's time for your exam.
And you know, this really says it all, doesn't it? A successful prep leads to a successful exam. By taking these steps seriously, you're playing a huge, active part in your own health. All the effort you're putting in now is what's going to lead to getting the clear results that you and your doctor need.
And that's our wrap. So I'll leave you with a little something to think about. What's the one question you could ask your doctor or your nurse that would make you feel even more confident and totally prepared for your procedure?